Hey guys, so I'm here with senior Bailey Burdette, senior here, like I say, at Franklinton High School. So she's had some pretty cool accomplishments, things that she's been able to be a part of. I'm excited to sit with Bailey. You may have seen her in previous videos, possibly through Demon Digital. In the last few years, she's really put herself out there and challenged herself with some online presence of here at the school. So I'm really excited to be able to sit and talk with you today, Bailey. And for you just to give everybody a chance to learn um, what happened in the last few months, but also what you're looking forward to. So, is there anything you'd want to tell people just to kind of give them a heads up as to who you are without the crown?
Well, as Coach Nate already said, I'm a senior at Franklinton High School, and I was a part of the Demon Digital Media for its first year, first
The inaugural with
inaugural year,
Mr. T,
yes,
right?
Mr. T. And through that class, I'd actually got the first day I was in there, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this very much.
Yeah,
And I was like, I might try and switch to speech. I think I'm going to learn more in there.
yeah,
But taking that class, I
yeah,
learned so much. Not only about, it was like two in one. It was like about film and about speaking.
yeah.
And so it's really helped me a lot. I don't think I'd be wearing this if I didn't
Certainly.
take that class. It
Yeah.
just taught me how to present myself in a higher way.
Right.
So,
Right.
yes,
So you also, I know you had helped us a few weeks back with the Coach Salt show.
I
What were your
did.
thoughts with that?
It was fun. It was something I'd never done before.
Yeah.
They usually had some senior. I was a sophomore when I took that class, and so they had the senior guys do the
Right.
whole like sports
Right.
interviews, and so it was cool. I'm not really a big football person, and so I really didn't know like all the terms, but it was still, regardless, I
But still,
had
the
fun.
ability
Yeah,
just to talk
just to
and
talk to them.
right, and that comes with, like you say, the skill set you really learn through the media class. Um, Bailey, if you could tell us, it seems like you're shining a little bit more this morning. Tell us about mid-October, kind of what led up and what happened.
All right. Well, I do have a bit of a more complex story
Give it to us.
than just mid October.
Yeah.
But so last August, like August 2023, they had an announcement that there was going to be a teen pageant for the Washington Parish Free Fair,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I don't know if I'll do it.
Do you see yourself as a pageant girl?
No, I did them when I was younger, but they weren't really pageants. They
Yeah.
were kind of like put on this dress and walk around a couple times, and you might get a crown, you might
Yeah.
not. And I did get a couple crowns, but it wasn't like anything that I won. It was just some kind of fundraiser, and but I never really saw myself as a pageant girl. I mean, I I just didn't, because I thought it was like this person that was like all glammed in makeup all the time
Yeah.
and had their hair all nice, and I'm really not that kind of person. But So around last August, I was talking to my mom, and mom was like, "You should go for it, just to do something different, get out the box a little bit, and you'll be able to learn these skills through it." And I did, and uh, it was genuinely one of the most like impactful experiences I've
Mm.
ever gone through, because I learned about a lot of girls from different parts of the parish,
Yeah.
and I got out of my comfort zone, and I had a coach and all this stuff, and I ended up gaining a lot of
Mm.
self confidence that I really needed.
Yeah.
And so come up to the pageant, it's third week of October. Uh, I got second runner up and most photogenic. And even though I didn't win, the first thing I said when I got off the stage was, I'm going to run next year
For Queen.
for Queen. Because it was, you know, leading up to it, you're so anxious and all this stuff, and you might throw up or something like that. And then once you get out there, it's like all that melts away, and you're having the time of your life.
Come on.
And so I just learned so much. I had so much fun. I felt like genuinely me on the stage. So as soon as I got off, Natalie won. She goes to school here as well. And congratulations to Natalie. I felt very happy she won. Uh, I just said, I'm going to run next year. And so until this year, I was like, am I still qualified? Am I going to have the time? This, and that. you know, I got soccer captain, I had beta president, and I was just like, but you know what? I just remembered how much fun I had while I was out there. And it's not really about me, it's about the parish. And that was my mindset the whole time. It's I just want to represent my community.
Yeah.
I just want to, you know, be a part of something so much bigger than
Right.
just a couple people. And so I trained for it. I started training several months beforehand, around April. I got my dress, ended up bringing the dress back, got another dress, went through a lot of trial and error, learned a lot about the parish, learned a lot about myself through practicing for interview, and time comes to the pageant, and I'm like just so worried. I was talking to like Coach Matt. I said my fear is to get out there and they say, you know, second runner up or first runner up, and they call my name. And just because I just felt bad. Like, what if I go through all this stuff and I spend all this money and my parents do all this and I don't win again? And he said, it's not about the outcome. You just got to focus on what's ahead of you and or what you're doing in the moment, really. And so, and he gave me a lot of advice.
Right.
And I actually, in training, you have on-stage questions and you have interview questions. Interview is the morning of. And so they ask you more questions about yourself. And I did get asked a couple questions about the fair, like what years did it not happen? Like, for example, 2020 because of the pandemic. And, or 2021. No, it's 2020. And so he said the best way to train is training chaos. So I had my stepdad throw tennis balls at me as he was reading off questions for my on stage, and I nailed on stage because I knew my fear was that someone was going to blow an air horn mid sentence of me speaking, and so anyway, point being, a lot of training. I get there and I'm just like I deleted like my social media like the week before.
Distractions.
I locked in for real. And I don't think people heard from me for a little while. I would just like cards and training and all that stuff, and it paid off. It really did. Because I I won several awards and then the Queen, which and it's all really like all that hard work, all those tears that I shed and late nights I spent, it was so worth it when they put that crown on my head. And so since then I've hit the ground running the next day. Our fair is 5 days, but I did 4 days. It was Thursday through Sunday. And I was exhausted. It took me a couple weeks to recuperate, and not because I was just tired. It was because I was having so much fun. Yeah. And I said, I think this is like more than Disney World, honestly, because you're talking to people, and it's not like you're waiting in line for rides or anything. It's just like you're learning so much, and your brain's constantly going. And our fair is so big and has so much to offer, and I was just worried I couldn't get everything, and I ended up getting a lot of things in, but I just had so much fun. I'm finally kind of back to normal now. Yeah. It's all sunk in.
Well, now you get to share our fair and the experiences that you've had growing up and even winning, like you say. You have that opportunity to go and share that at other fairs and festivals.
Oh, yes.
What all do you have on the docket? What all do you have planned here coming up in the next few months, let's say?
Well, I have gone to 2 balls so far. I've gone to the Sicilian Ball down in Tickfall, and I've gone to the Plaquemine Orange Ball, which is in Beers, Louisiana. That's all the way down there. Yeah. It took us about 2.5 hours to get there. And coming up, I have another ball, which is the Italian Festival Ball. I have a couple of festivals. Trying to think of which ones. There's so many. You wouldn't even imagine how many there is. But I think the last Queen went to 64 festivals, and there's only 52 weeks in a year. Yeah. And so it's I don't think I'll get to go to that many, but it's just there's things that you've never even heard of. Yeah. But they're so cool. There is the Orange Festival, which I didn't even know Louisiana had oranges, grew oranges and stuff like that. And we do. There's the Festival of the Bonfires. There's the Fern Wildlife Festival, which I believe I will be attending that one. And then Washington Parish has so many
Yeah.
festivals too. Like we have a watermelon festival, the balloon
Christmas.
festival, Christmas in Mile Branch.
Hmm.
Just so many things. Like I was counting the other day, there's like 8 queens that go to Pine High School, and I was like, wow, we have so many,
Yeah.
so much representation.
Right.
And so, and we only have 2 here. But point being, there's so much. Like there's a frog festival that's in Rain, Louisiana. And and I've met so many queens doing just the balls and stuff
Right.
that I have.
So saying the challenges and what the work you put into getting where you are now, and again the enjoyment of doing that, the grueling aspect of doing that. What's the challenge for you now? Is it meeting new people? Is it learning of new things that other fairs and festivals have a part? Is it making sure you're up to date on what our fair offers? What's the challenge for you now, Bailey?
Well, I'd have to just say like balancing it.
Yeah.
It's just I want to do everything that I can, and it's kind of hard whenever you're a senior in high school and it's like, you got the scholarship due and you've got this
Yeah.
and that, but I'm really starting to handle it well.
Yeah.
I think it's just wanting to go places and you have conflicting things with it, like scheduling wise, several festivals are on the same day.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can't go to this pageant, but I want to go here, but I want to go there. And so
Yeah.
I think it's just scheduling,
Yeah.
honestly. And it's not that like I don't have the time. It's just like how am I going to get there?
Yeah.
And so
Do you have traveling buddy queens, like people you like to travel with?
I recently just been traveling with my mom.
Yeah.
But it depends because some of them are invite only. So,
Yeah.
but I do have a couple of girls from Washington Parish that
Yeah.
I've been talking to and
Yeah.
like to hang out with.
How do you think juggling which one is of utmost priority? How do you feel that's going to help you as you step into the next phase of Bailey? And as you answer that, if you would, what is the next phase?
Well, I think this is the phase of Bailey. I think this is probably my peak. I
Come
don't
on,
think I'll
babe.
ever come down from this. I think I'll be talking about this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, this is my priority.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are my priority too.
Do you feel it's going to help you in adulthood, how you've having to handle
course.
multiple
Of
facets
course. Multiple spinning plates.
Yeah.
And so
and to do all of them well.
right.
Like you say, soccer,
Beta.
beta, president,
Yes.
grades, scholarships, other things that you're a part of, and doing all of them to a high
Right.
level.
Right, but I've always been a multitasker,
Mhm.
and just since I was young, like I've always been involved in a lot.
Yeah.
And I said this in my interview for Fair Queen,
Mhm.
that I've done a lot, whether it be community service
Mhm.
or stuff with school, and so
Youth coalition.
and there's just so much that I've learned how
Mhm.
to prioritize and multitask, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't have vied for this title if I knew
Yeah.
it wasn't going to be my top
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah.
And it is, because it's just so much more than myself or just a couple people. It's the parish.
I love it, Bailey.
And so,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I know I can speak for the fair committee, and I'm sure people in the community, how much that means to all of us that you wear the crown with such pride.
Mm-hmm.
To represent our town, our school, our community, our fair, and as you share that with other fairs and festivals and other queens, what if you could talk to us? What's your plans after high school?
Well, right now I've been anxiously checking my Gmail for that LSU
Yeah.
that LSU email,
Yeah.
like say congratulations.
That's right.
But until that comes, I will be attending a school for architecture, hopefully in Louisiana. Definitely in Louisiana. I can't go too far
Mhm.
with this crown. And so I will be I will be pursuing a degree in architecture. It's about a 5-year school.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll be an architect. So
Yeah.
I think like historic preservation is where I'm leaning towards.
Yeah.
Just because I just love history so much, and
Yeah.
it's such a cool job. But
You'll get to see a lot of the Louisiana architecture as
oh
you
yeah,
travel. You don't have to
oh
go far.
yes,
Ponchatoula,
you don't have to.
Hammond. There's a lot of really cool old structures
Right,
that are doing a good job being preserved, and it just adds patina
right.
and age to and culture to a community.
Oh yes. And so it's just the coolest thing.
Yep. Well, look, I mean this when I say I want to bring you back and just spotlight you in some way for you to be a part. I really enjoyed us being able to sit down this morning and for people to hear a little bit about you
Yes.
and some of the recent things that you've been able to accomplish. And I'm really proud of you. I know Coach Smith, all the faculty, all the administration, everybody a part of Franklinton High School is really proud of you. And we're proud of what you represent and how you represent us. So thank you, Bailey.
Well, thank you.
Certainly. All right.
Yes.